show.
Thank you.
Ask you both, how the heck did you get started coaching football, and what piqued your interest about it? Greg?
Well, I grew up in a family that really followed football. We had season tickets to the Lions, and we'd go to the Michigan State games, and I just, kind of accumulated a love for it. Then started playing, obviously, in high school, and just really enjoyed it, and, all of the different aspects of it, competing and, the planning and whatnot. And that's kind of how it all came about.
And when did you start at Romeo?
I started in Romeo in 1971.
Okay, that's last century.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you're still here with us.
Well, so am I.
And Paul, when did you?
Well, I started out, in 79 was my first year. I wasn't doing anything and would show up at practice, and they just started giving me stuff to do with Larry Dunn. And so I just
kept going.
Got the bug, and that was it.
Now, you had also coached, both of you have coached at other high schools. Greg, you were at Pontiac High School for a while. Tell us a little about that experience.
Well, initially, when I retired from Romeo, we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I coached down there at South Mecklenburg High School for 5 years. And then some personal family things necessitated us coming back to Michigan, and it was kind of ironic. My wife at the time was having radiation therapy at Crittenton. We were living in an apartment across the street because our home down there hadn't sold. And I went into the grocery store one day and ran into Tarleton Small, who you probably know had been the AD at Northern. He was explaining they were going to merge the two schools together, and they'd interviewed some people and this and that, and asked me to end up interviewing, and I did, and got the job. And, a lot of people thought I was crazy. I wasn't too sure myself I wasn't. Those two schools didn't really care too much for each other, and some of the boys were in rival gangs, and but it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. We ended up winning the championship, made the playoffs for, I think, the first time 17 years, and the kids just bought in, and I really have to congratulate or bring up the fact that Brad Zuby did a heck of a job. He was my defensive coordinator, and he was very much a factor in why we were successful. In fact, he took over after I left, and he won another championship. So,
great, that's great. And Paul, you
another Romeo man too.
Zuby. Yep, that's right.
And you, down there in Pontiac, and you, Paul, you left the Romeo program. You got recruited to go to Eisenhower. How did this happen?
It's some things were happening out here in Romeo and everything, and I just so happened to was friends with Terry Capacia, and it got me talking with Bob Lancey and everything, and it's just something that worked out.
And what was that experience like for you?
It was one of my better experiences for me to mature as a football coach. I still think, I've been blessed to be around some great mentors in that, and this gentleman here with me was one that got me started and all that, and Bob Lancey was another one, and eventually, he got me coordinating the defense and everything, so it was a great experience for me personally.
And I remember you, Gary Parmentier, another guy that came over from Romeo to Eisenhower.